Welcome to Studio C, the listening room. This is a special evening edition. My name is Michael Snyder-Barker.
And I'm Andy Schiller.
With our good friend, our guest, Stuart Benbow.
Benbow.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Right.
no worries. You know, we were just talking off set about when we first met, and it could have been casually at an open mic. It could have been the time you played Appalumpkin with, I booked the band because Mike Rosic was in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Way back a lifetime ago, yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't know who else was in the band. Just Mike was a good buddy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we became acquainted, but I don't think we became friends until, what was it? Right, it was before you started hosting the stage at Appalumpkin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
We were already friends at that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't know you.
Yeah, I'm thinking, at that point, I'd also been, I took over for you songwriter rounds.
Oh, right.
At
the Ale House or at
it wasn't the Ale House, it was...
Kombucha.
Yeah, the
house.
kombucha place. But we had done writer rounds at the Ale House. We'd done a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what the actual impetus for us becoming friends, I don't remember.
I think it was music.
Well, yeah. Some kind of musical something brought us together, which is magic. That's how a lot of us become friends.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have half the friends I have if it wasn't for music.
I'd be a shut-in.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what the actual, first...
it's kind of like... There it is.
Yeah, and for me, I had a head injury years ago, so I've got memory issues anyway.
I invited you to a songwriter in the round at the Ale House that I was hosting. That's when I first really we started talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because I've been playing there on and off for ages now.
Wasn't it you and Mike Ward and Lyndon Thoburn?
That was the one where I could barely walk.
Yeah. I
had done that one with you while I was still recovering from vertigo from the whole pandemic thing. That was my long haulers thing. That was fun. But yeah, that was such a good night.
We had a big crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, biggest I've ever
And Lyndon
played
and Mike were amazing.
Well,
and
that's
all
why
the stuff was fun.
That's why I invited all three of you, because you're all amazing, and I got to play.
You say that like you're nothing. Jeez.
Well, at the time, I'd only been playing about 2 years.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing now? 4 or 5?
It's, in October, I think it'll be the 5th anniversary of my starting to learn to play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy was my teacher.
Yep.
Quite the journey.
Yeah. No
That's
doubt.
one thing I liked about every time we hooked up to go on a stage somewhere, I got to see your evolution.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And then, you had me out to your CD release party last summer? Summer before?
No, wasn't it?
No, it was last summer.
Yeah, May 2024.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was out of my depth there because I'm not a harmony singer, but you put me in there anyway, and I did my best, dang it. But unfortunately, for the first half, none of the vocalists were in the backup singer's monitors.
I know.
So we were winging it and looking at each other and kind of leaning in so we could guess at how we were doing.
I think if things went perfect, it wouldn't be real.
Oh, yeah. We did the best we could. I've had worse situations live. No Sin and Eden, who you mentioned probably was the foundational point of us meeting, I was in their band playing mandolin at the state fair the day after a generator power spike had blown out that stage's main equipment. So they were using a backup board that had been in a shed, unenvironmentally controlled for 5 years. Wow. None of the faders worked properly, so there was on or off. There was no subtlety. And I couldn't hear my mandolin. I didn't know their song, so I was relying on being able to watch the guitar player Joe's fingers to see what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was a train wreck, but people were politely just clapping along, and none of us could hear anything but the lead vocalist. That was it.
And she was really skilled in projecting her voice.
Yeah, she had
Jill.
to, because no, that was actually Amanda. Jill was still there too, but I couldn't hear her in the mix either. I only heard one mic and the drummer that was right next to me, making me go deaf. So it was an interesting time.
Man, those drummers, they are a plague.
Yeah, darn them drummers. Nudge, nudge.
A wink, wink.
Yeah, I dabble, but I wouldn't call me a drummer.
Now, Stuart teaches guitar,
Yeah.
just
Cool.
like you, and mandolin.
I am supposed to teach mandolin. I haven't had enough students to run the course in the last couple of semesters. I also teach ukulele on Saturday mornings.
Cool.
Yeah, so Wayne County Community College District in the Belleville campus on Haggerty. I teach beginning guitar, intermediate guitar, beginning ukulele, and if they ever have enough people, beginning mandolin.
And how do people sign up?
They go to any of the campuses and sign up with their continuing education department. Specifically look for the Belleville campus. The Ted Scott campus is the official name for it because they have the same kinds of courses at the other campuses, but I'm only at the one. I can't teleport, unfortunately. Wish I could. That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
But we have a good time. The students that come always love it. But right now, the online registration is broken, so you got to do it in person.
Well, I used to teach at Siena Heights University, but as you probably heard, they're closing at the end of next year.
I had not heard that.
Isn't that
Ouch.
weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been rocking since 1919. They just celebrated their
Oh.
100-year anniversary, but they're going to throw in the towel at the end of next year.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's some heritage going away.
It is, especially for the alumni.
Yeah.
The alumni are coming out of the woodwork, and we're all getting together and like reminiscing with old stories. And I don't know, it's kind of special to have gone to Siena, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if it's been around since 1919, that's not many schools do that. My high school's older than that. It was 1850s, I think. It looked like a castle. 4 stories, crenellated turrets and stuff, the whole bit. But that one's still alive and kicking in Ontario and Cambridge. But very few and far between you find a school that's still operating that old.
Mm-hmm. So tell us more about how you got started with music.
For entertainment value, my mom signed me up for guitar classes when I was in like 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those academy things where you had group classes where the group I was put in originally, nobody practiced but me.
Well, it's nice to
And-
have a parent that's kind of at least a little bit
Supportive.
supportive. Yeah. Ish.
Ish. So I got put out because I was the only one trying. So I tried to get put into the next tier up.
Mhm.
But there was no next tier up. It was the big jump to the people that have been playing for like 5 years.
Oh.
So the chasm between the two groups was really wide. And I was informed I was going to my guitar lesson instead of my 6th grade graduation ceremony and dance.
Oh.
So that rubbed me the wrong way, and I dropped music for guitar entirely. I picked it up a little bit in high school. I played oboe all through high school. I played clarinet in middle school. But I played guitar a bit like towards the end of high school, put it aside again, and then, let's see, I was married maybe 2 or 3 years, so 26, 27-ish, something like that. I picked it up as something nice to bond with my wife over to entertain our kid. And
She sings too, right?
yeah, I mean, she doesn't do it as much now because she had vocal cord damage,
Yeah.
but we used to have a family band.
Yeah.
But I picked it up again, and I haven't stopped since. But the whole plan was, you and I can learn to play guitar. It'll be a nice family bonding thing. She didn't ever learn guitar until years later, and she still doesn't really put much time and energy into it. But for me, I was sidelined and tricked into being dragged out to an open mic night against my will. My plan was, I don't want to ever leave the couch or maybe the backyard by a bonfire to entertain friends. That's all I want. And instead, I got dragged to an open mic. My knees were knocking so hard that I looked like I was going to fall down. And I got invited from that one. Steve Kovich hosted it.
So Trinity House.
No, that was before that.
Oh,
That was
before
Caribou
that.
Coffee,
Okay.
which doesn't exist anymore either. And then Darwin Mamasian, I think I said his last name right. Mamasian, can't remember. Really phenomenal guitar player. He invited me to his a couple of days later. From there, Bob Young, who I didn't know at the time, was in the crowd, saw me and my little, probably 7 or 8 year old daughter at the time, singing the Rainbow Connection. And I get a phone call like a week later, hey, are you the Rainbow Connection dad? How do you know that and who are you? Like, what the heck? And it's like, do you feel like playing an actual show? and I got booked to play Meant to Be Cafe in Farmington that also doesn't exist anymore. Phenomenal venue back in the day. A little cafe with all kinds of goodies. And my kiddo conned the poor owner out of so many milkshakes, batting the eyelashes, the whole bit. But that was my first show, and at the time, between booking and the event, there was like a 6-month lead time. So I'm like, okay, I got plenty of time to learn 2 hours of music, fine. I got shingles in my eye and went blind during that time. I was barely recovered. I couldn't really see much. My wife, dear as she is, she's blind, and said, you know what, blindness is no excuse, not in this house. You're doing this show. We'll find someone. We'll get you help. It'll happen. Steve Kovich opened for me. He did all the sound setup. He got me all hooked up. And he did a middle set to get me a bit of a break. And
Steve's awesome.
oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy.
Yep.
But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been through that show to the end of it. He swears that, like, it's no big deal. Why do you keep saying that I'm responsible for you actually doing what you do? Because all I did was plug you in and put a mic in front of you. It's like, that matters. That's how a lot of people get started, is those little gestures of inclusivity. Being welcomed to a stage when you don't feel like you're ready. And from there, I mean, these days I teach, I play out at festivals. I think my largest crowd is like 4,000 people.
Wow.
My smallest crowd is like one person. So, there's a range.
Baristas.
I've done that too. Yeah, we're the only people. I had my wife, my son, my youngest, and me playing as the middle act. I don't even remember the venue now. But there was a massive snowstorm. It was supposed to be the house band opening, us in the middle, and then a touring band as the headline. They couldn't get there. The house band went, so we went. I dragged myself here through all that snow. We're going to play. So it was just a barista. But, you take the punches, you roll with them.
Well, yeah.
But we have fun doing it. That's the main thing. I mean, I really dread the day that I look at it as an accounting exercise versus something that I get joy from. I've never wanted music to be my career. I don't want to be the touring guy that's looking at how many CDs did we sell this week, how many shirts did we sell. I got other stuff for that.
You kind of have similar experiences where, you actually do this for a living.
Yeah, like the teaching thing is a living.
Sure.
And that makes a difference for people.
Is it difficult to do extra stuff?
Yeah, if your schedule's full of teaching, it's hard on a weekday night to get out there and go play a gig.
Yeah,
and,
or even hit the open mics.
And, I have lessons on late on Friday and Saturdays now, too. So, if someone wants me to play at a wedding, I have to cancel lessons. You can only cancel someone's lesson so often.
Yep.
You cancel 4 weeks in a row, and the student's going to give up on you, right? So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, if all goes well and I get enough people signed up, I teach Tuesday evenings, Wednesday evenings, Thursday evenings. I host music at Crazy Wisdom in Ann Arbor on Friday evenings. That's now switching to once a month, moving into September. So I'll have most of my Fridays free finally. But I'm going to miss it because I got to book people that I enjoyed listening to. And then I teach all day Saturdays. So that doesn't leave a lot of free time when people are actually booking people to play. It's like, well, I can play Saturday evening if I race. I just did one at the Ipsy Ale House with Scott Fishkind not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago maybe.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that was
Scott's been on this show.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah,
I love his albums too.
Yeah.
Like I played with him 4:30 to 6:30. A couple of months earlier, I played with Blues Dad and Jacob Bianco from 7 till 9. That is easier to get to, but the 4:30 slot,
that's tough.
I pull in, grab my stuff, and he's done his sound check, and all I'm doing is plugging in and starting. I haven't had any time for anything.
Yeah.
No warm-ups, no nothing.
So what kind of gigs do you have coming up after next Sunday? Because this will be we'll air this next Sunday.
Okay, like the Labor Day weekend airing?
Yeah, 6 days from now.
Okay. So 6 days from now, so the Monday, Labor Day Monday, I am part of a songwriter round with the Superstar alumni. So the Michigan State Fair Superstar Contest.
Okay.
Last year's winner, Jessie Adams, she's going to be there. The year before's winner, Michaela Prue, was supposed to be, she's got to be back in Nashville for school. She's going to university there, so she's not going to be able to make it. Joe Jarvis, who won the year before, he's going to be on the stage.
You're wearing the
Yep.
shirt.
Joe Jarvis, I love his stuff. He's such a nice guy. And then the previous winner is Montgomery Day from the band Luxodon. Luxodon won, but it's him coming to do the songwriter round. So it'll be 3 winners and me, who these days I judge the contest with a whole lineup of people. Industry experts is what they're calling us. And my highest position when I competed was 6th place. So I'm going to have to bring my A game because they're all stellar.
Yeah.
Jesse's been touring all over the country all through the winter and spring.
And
She'll-
hats off to those who do this for a living.
oh yeah,
You know,
I have a lot of respect for her, especially because she travels just her pickup truck, her merch, her instrument, no backup, no support. She throws a tent in the back of the truck and just goes.
Yeah.
That is wild to me. Granted,
She
she's
must
also
be-
a lot younger than I am too.
I was going to say she must be young.
Yeah, but she squeezes in her regular day job stuff here in Michigan around these tours,
Yeah.
and she's just killing it. She's got some new singles out that are absolutely stellar. So I'm really blessed to be able to share a stage with all these guys on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
On the 19th, I'm at Trinity House Theater as part of a big Songwriters Anonymous showcase to raise money for the theater itself, because they are kind enough to let our songwriting group meet there once a month. So this
Yeah.
is our annual thank you for that. That is in Livonia if anybody's interested.
7 mile.
6.
6 mile. That's
Yep.
close. It was
Yep,
a mi-
very close.
It was
Yep.
a mile.
Right by the freeway. Lovely little theater, great listening space. I think they hold like 80-something people, so it's not hard for them to fill up. We've got a great lineup for it. I'm going to be backed up by a full band, which I never get to do.
Oh.
I've got John Finan on lead guitar, Sharon C. on percussion, Dan Hazlett on trumpet and harmonica, and all of them are going to be doing backup vocals for me as well.
You have a stellar band.
Yeah, I never get to play like that. I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic.
John Finan is scheduled to be on this in within the next couple months or so.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, and he's talented as all get out, and he's also very giving of that talent.
Yeah.
He was one of the early open mic hosts that got me going as well. It was Steve, Darwin, and John were kind of the trio that got me rolling and took me under their wing, and were very supportive and kind.
Well, for me, it was Ted Monti.
Yeah, that was before my time. I think he pretty much stepped back from that.
Yeah.
But like, I listened back to the recordings from that era, and I don't know why people booked me. I was so bad. It was horrible. I literally, like, last summer, I was going through my hard drive and I found like that first show footage, and I had also played recently some brand new stuff that I haven't released anywhere. I've just been recording at home.
Yeah.
And I was like, A and B comparison? People didn't shoot me for that? What the heck? They invited me to come back?
Yeah. I remember that sort of experience with the drums. Back when I was just first starting, you know, the band I was in got kicked out of a place because we were terrible. 2 sets out of 3, we were done.
I've never been kicked off a stage yet, which is a wild thing for me because I should have been.
And I was just a drummer, so it was the other guys.
Oh yeah,
It was
absolutely.
the show.
Blame the bass player, that's what everybody does. Which is funny because my son was my bass player for years.
Andy, you've got some general questions.
I always ask the same question. I don't know if you
haven't
watched
heard
the
your
show,
questions.
but
I've heard snippets of the show. I haven't had a lot of free time, so I've been kind of bouncing between clips.
so the question of every episode is, when you write songs, do you write the chords first or the lyrics first?
Almost always lyrics. There's exceptions,
Oh,
but
interesting. Okay.
I'm story driven.
Yeah.
So for me, I get an idea for a premise, and that kind of evolves
So
into
the
where I
song,
want to go.
the idea, and so the lyrics come from that. And
Yeah.
then later on you think, oh, I'm going to maybe play a G chord here.
Yeah, I'll hear kind of how the progression of the vocals are going to go as well. Like I get a melody plus lyrics in my head sometimes, and it really ticks my wife off. Like 2, 3 in the morning, I'll wake up. I don't sleep, so I'll wake up and like start writing, and I'll start humming what I've got going, and I'm like, okay, that's a G, okay. And I kind of outline this thing, and then I hit the record button on my phone, and I kind of hum the melody so I can keep it for the next morning. And she rolls over, shh. These days, I pull out my laptop, and I'm typing away for novelization instead, so she's just as mad because that's tappity, tappity, tappity. But she's learned to ignore me over the years. It's like, he's not snoring, he's fine.
You were telling me you have like several different novels and series of novels and novellas and short stories
Yep.
that you've already written that are in the editing process.
Yeah. Stupid me. I'm trying to have the wherewithal to just focus on editing the one that's closest to being done.
Yeah.
But I keep getting new ideas and going, shiny thing. So I'm trying to finish the editing on book 1 of the Melody Farms series that is closest to being released.
That's a great title, Melody Farms.
Yeah, it's the series. The book title is actually Frost and Firelight, but the series is Melody Farm.
What genre?
That one is pseudo-romancy plus overcoming adversity and past traumas and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layering in it. There's a lot of neurodivergent
I look forward to
stuff
the
in it.
audiobook.
Yeah, I'm planning on narrating that myself because I've done audiobook narration
Yeah.
for other people. I've just never thought it would be me doing my own.
Right.
And here I am.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have the equipment, so I can do that on the cheap because I am a poor bean. I don't have the resources to say, hey, can you do this?
Right.
So, luckily, typewriters are, or at least digital stuff is cheap.
So lyrics first, because you're
Yeah.
a storyteller.
Yeah.
You're not just a singer; you're a storyteller.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And did you bring any CDs or tapes for our Wall of Fame?
I didn't know you had a Wall of Fame.
So here it is.
Oh.
Like a lot of people on the show have their CD up there. So how many CDs or recordings have you put
Let's
together
see.
in your music career?
My Christmas album came out a couple of Christmases ago. That one's a 25-track all-original vocal and guitar stripped down
Original
album.
Christmas music? Oh,
25 tracks, so one for each day of the holiday season.
Wow.
I've got 2 EPs that were self-recorded, self-published, which is why they're terrible. The Christmas one, Dave Roof did the editing for me.
Okay.
So the production was nice, but it's a vocal and guitar stripped down. The EPs bounced between vocal and guitar and more fully arranged stuff. And I hate the arrangement, but I still love the songs. I don't like what I captured, but I love the music itself.
Mhm.
So it bothers me. And I've got a couple of singles as well that are on my website. So like Bandcamp has got everything, I think, most of it anyway. My website, stuartbenbowmusic.com, has everything, plus a bunch of unreleased demos of things.
Okay, we'll put a link down in the description below if you want to check out that music.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of revamping the website as well, trying to split the author and the music sides.
Okay.
So I think I've got it all accurately working again. I broke it the other day, but I think I fixed it.
I used to have your EP up on the wall. Wonder why it's not there.
There wasn't space, I don't think, for every
Yeah,
So
CD
yeah, you
had.
guys host a lot of people, so
we
it
do.
happens.
So last Christmas, I did a recording with my wife, and it wasn't very popular, and no one liked it.
Oh, I
There's
don't
a reason
believe
why,
that.
because it was it was like Weird Al. It was like Carol of the Jingle Bells.
Oh, nice.
So my wife would go, hark how the bells, and then I would go, jingle bells, and then she would go, bright silver bells, and I would go, jingle bells, and then she would go, hear how they ring, and I would go, jingle all the, and she would go, and how they sing, and then I would go, way. So,
Mashups, nice.
Carol of the Jingle Bells, everybody.
nice.
It's terrible, I know, but that was the point.
I like cheesy. I'm a big fan of cheesy reimaginings of things.
Cheesy, campy.
Yeah.
It was unlistenable. Sorry, everybody.
The fingerstyle part was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much potential to just explore what was, what is, and what will be in music, and just kind of play with it.
Song mashups, yeah.
Yeah, or just rearranging stuff, taking a major key song into a minor, or a fast song into a slow, or vice versa for all of it.
Yeah.
It's just fun to play. I was goofing around. I terrible at it right now, but Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time, I was doing like this emo anthemic version of that. It was like 10 or 11 at night, and my wife was like, that one's gonna be a keeper. I'm like, at least I'm not completely doing this for no point. She's a good judge of whether something's good or bad. For ballads, if she cries, it's a keeper.
I've heard a band do Rocket Man by Elton John, but all minor chords. It was epically cool.
Ooh.
Like, change the harmony of it.
Sweet.
And yeah, Steve and I are working on a project where we're doing a Depeche Mode song, but no synthesizer. Instead, hammer dulcimer for the synthesizer part, and then violin and mandolin. So like all bluegrass.
I can't wait to hear that. That's gonna be sweet. Damn.
Yeah, it's totally different, but all the parts are there.
Nice.
Different is fun.
Yeah, I love different.
I've been in bands where they've said, no, it's got to sound just like the record, and it's, then buy the record.
Yeah.
It'll never sound just like the record.
Never.
The thing is, that's what people come to see. The tribute bands fill seats.
They do.
Because it's a lot cheaper to go to a tribute band than the actual artist. Like the, what's her name? Taylor Swift. Like $2,000 for the high-end tickets where you get to do the meet and greets versus a Taylor Swift tribute band is like $60.
Yeah.
Which one can I afford?
Right. I would rather not pay $60. I mean, I did see Genesis for $80 a ticket.
That wouldn't have been recent.
It was, yeah, it was. It was just post-COVID lockdown.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, Phil Collins, they had to help him out on stage.
Yeah.
They set him in a chair close to the side of the stage, and, you know, he just sang while sitting, and his voice sounded like he had a stroke, but he didn't have a stroke. It was something else.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I saw Phil Collins' last performance.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that, like Elton John during the pandemic when they did that video Live Aid kind of a thing where everybody was just live streaming stuff. That one performance, I've heard stuff from him since, and I've seen him live before that. That one performance sounded like something was wrong.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't playing right, he wasn't singing right, something about it seemed off.
You know, those guys are getting older.
Yeah. I am too.
I play landslide, you know. Children getting older, and I'm getting older too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah, it's real, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've got some gigs coming up.
Yep.
Do you think it's time to hear you play a song?
Why don't you describe your guitar first and show
This is
us
my
your
warhorse. This guy's been with me for 12, 13 years now, something like that. So a lot of wear and tear. I've kind of destroyed chunks of wood out of it. Hasn't worn through yet, but KR114E. This particular one, I got lucky. They were just transitioning into the Expression System 2, the next gen. The 114s and the 100 series in general, prior to that, had that other pickup system that was before the ES1, that because they'd introduced that new one, they used up all their old stock on these for a very small window of time. So I've got the Expression 1 system, which I love, and I don't like the newer one.
You don't like the Aura?
I don't like that ES2 with the magnets in here, and I don't find it very balanced. And I know people that have fought with them for years, the same guitar, just a different pickup.
Oh, the Aura is a Martin thing, not a Taylor.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's 13 years old because the nut and the saddle used to be white.
Yep, way
now
back in the
they're kind
day.
of off-white. Like
little bit. That one's
smoker or
almost
something.
wood-toned. But it's funny because I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't have anything that should discolor it other than I tend to do a lot of this when I'm banging on stuff.
It just
which
ages.
is how that, like all this in here is chipped, all that's in here is chipped. I probably got fingernail marks all around the outside.
Gives it character.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't quite have Trigger's character yet from Willie Nelson, but another 10 years and I'll get her there.
Kind of looks like you're using like Elixir nano webs on there.
Yep.
Which is my string of choice also.
Yeah, the custom lights is what I generally go for. I think these are just the regular lights. Way overdue for a string change. I'm going to do that after the state fair now because I left it too long. But before the showcase thing at the Trinity House, I'll have new strings on, so it brightens it back up again. But yeah.
I always put brass pegs in on my acoustics. It always gives it a little bit of a brighter sound and even a tiny bit more sustain.
Yeah, I've never done the brass thing or even heard anyone that does, but I'd imagine that would give
It sounds a little bit different.
put a bit more shimmer in it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've just basically lucked into this one. It happened to be on sale. It happened to be right after tax return came. And that's how I ended up buying that one that I sold to you since as well. It was tax return, it was used, and it happened to land within my price point with that used price tag. And I put a lot of mileage in both.
Yeah.
I just stopped playing the 12 string for a number of reasons, mainly just it was too hard to carry multiple guitars to a show. That's the main
Well,
one.
you also said it had some neck issues that needed to be addressed. And they've been addressed because
now it plays like a dream.
Yeah.
So what do you want to hear? New, old?
New song.
New song. All right. I guess I should check my tuning as well, since I just pulled it out of the case and...
Tuning's overrated.
It's one thing. I bought a new capo like a year ago. My old one of the same kind never messed with the tuning. I just slapped it on. I was good to go.
Yeah.
They changed the spring in them, and they said, "Oh, it'll be fine in like a month." No.
The spring loosens up. It's supposed to.
Yeah. So I literally, while watching TV, do this with my capo to try and wear that spring down, and a year later, it's still a pain in the butt. So I wrote this one for my lovely wife. Lying in bed each morning next to you, it sounds so every day. I can't get enough of it. I never want it to change. Don't need no fancy car, no great big jewelry box. What we have is just enough. Don't need no city lights, no big wild party nights, 'cause I only need you. Oh, love is what we make it. That's just the plain old truth. Yeah, love is what we make it. I wanna make it you. We both had our ups and downs, struggles and failing health. Wouldn't have been worth fighting for if I'd been with someone else. Don't need no fancy car, no great big jewelry box. What we have is just enough. Don't need no city lights, no big wild party nights, 'cause I only need you. Oh, love is what we make it. old truth. Yeah, love is what we make it. I wanna make it with you. Silverhead's just around the corner. You know I'm gonna wanna spend those days with you. If we grow old and gray, well, that'll be just great. That's the dream I'm working to. Don't need no fancy condo, great big jewelry box. What we have is just enough. Don't need no city lights, no big wild party nights, 'cause I only need you. Don't need no city lights, no big wild party nights, 'cause I only need you. Oh, love is what we make it. That's just the plain old truth. Yeah, love is what we make it. I wanna make it with you.
Wow, that was great.
Thanks. I don't even know the inspiration for it, though. I was just thinking about what my wife's got going on medically, and
Yeah.
lyrics flowed.
Well, Dawn is such a nice person, and she
Oh, yeah.
has a very infective laugh.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. Whenever I do the songwriter round, like, oh, good, you brought Dawn.
And the dog's name is
Ava.
Ava.
Yeah, she's currently in recovery. She had 8 lumps removed.
Oh my God.
So she's got a bunch of stitches in her lower chest,
Yeah.
one on her side, all of it's right where the harness for guide work rub,
Yeah.
and then one on her left cheek, and then her ear had a cyst removed.
Oh my gosh.
So she's
Well-
a little miserable with that cone of shame on right now.
Well, she'll be like a brand new dog, like this
Yeah,
guitar.
upgrades, people, upgrades. Yeah, but like she'll get recovery. She gets
Yeah.
the stitches out Friday. 2 weeks after that, Dawn goes under the knife.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I'm probably getting a rotator cuff operation. So our house is just one big carving exercise for a while. I'm wondering about the recovery time on mine. I might have to stage that during the Christmas break because I usually have a longer gap between teaching.
Right, right. Isn't that unfortunate? We can't afford to take care of our health, so we think, okay, when is it going to be the most convenient and I won't lose as much money
Mhm.
because it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know,
Like for me, Dawn's had so many issues over the last few years. Like she had a new hip last year, another new hip the year before, other side. So she's had all these major things going on. So I've ignored me forever.
well, yeah.
And then I finally started getting my checklist done, and I'm seeing specialists left and right playing catch up.
Yeah.
And now I'm having to kind of sideline some of that so that we can take care of her more pressing thing, because mine's all, yeah, it matters, but nothing's life-threatening. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
mine is minor quality of life annoyances. Hers is, we got to get that done.
Yeah. Well, and that's true, and those of us who are caretakers typically ignore self.
Yeah, far too much.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've always loved your music. And,
Thank you.
And I could sit and listen to you play for 2 hours. You know, the length of a gig.
Yeah, which is good because we've done that a few times.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, always a good
I
time.
had you out to share the stage with me at Blackfire that one time.
Yeah, that was a blast too.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's a great venue as well.
It is. It
I
is.
love being out on the back deck over the vineyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked your song overall, and the added drum part was really neat. And then I noticed you don't use a pick; you strum with your finger, and that's.
I bounce between them. Like
Okay.
one of the songs I've got. I can do it without a pick.
Here's a pick.
I've got one in my pocket.
Okay.
I can do the same thing with a pick more cleanly, and I'm more likely to stick the landing. But I tend to use my fingers a lot because early on, I was always dropping them in the sound hole, and I got mad about it. So I switched to finger style early, and from there, when I did do individual notes, I was doing more with my fingers or my thumb. A little rusty.
I always like to play both, also.
Yeah.
Finger style and with the pick.
Yeah, like these ones are what I use these days. It's the Dava, Dava, whatever they are, with the rubber grip with the texture. I've never dropped one of these on stage, but the ones that are all polished and slippery, you get a little bit of sweat and suddenly someone has it laying in their drink.
There used to be this product at the music store called Gorilla Snot, and it was 4 picks, and you put it on your pick, and it made it so that you would never drop it.
Okay.
No one ever sold it because, it's just called Gorilla Snot, so you're like,
Not the best
I
marketing
want that.
image.
Yeah, I bought some little stick-on things.
Okay.
I put one on either side of the pick, and it's textured so that so you can hold on to it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, the only other one I use lately, it's a thumb pick that wraps around, but it's a regular pick shape.
Oh.
So I can use it either like a pick, or I can finger style and let that
neat.
bass note really drive.
I used to drill a hole in my guitar picks when I was in high school, and that was kind of a cool thing.
The budget answer to losing a pick. Yeah, it's funny, I found one of mine in the basement on the floor that had apparently gone through the laundry and didn't make it back up the stairs.
So when you drill that hole, do you put like a string in it and wrap and tie it around your finger?
No, you just drill a hole in the pick, and then when you hold it, you never drop it because
You're
your
locked into
fingers
the
are
button.
touching.
Your fingers are locked.
Yeah.
And I found out later that there's actually a patent on that. To have a guitar pick with a hole in it, you can't make that and sell it because it's patented
Wow.
by
What if-
McPherson.
What if instead of a circle you make it a star?
Maybe that's different. I guess maybe the McPherson one was more of like a triangle. Like the hole itself was shaped like a pick, so it was a triangular shaped hole.
Okay. Yeah.
Different.
I know. People are so incredibly inventive. I wish I was the guy who invented that little plastic cup under the 2-liter bottles of soda, because that person's a millionaire, and all they did was invent that little bottom part that used to be on those bottles.
Doug
Larson, I think
Yep.
is his name. He has round picks that have a ring.
We've probably got one over here on the shelf or sitting next to the mixing board.
This
They're
is
a
what
neat-
he's talking about.
Yep, that's them. They're
Yeah,
a very
pointless
different look.
pick. That's it.
Yeah, they're round.
Points.
So for what I do, they don't really work for the guitar. They're all right on mandolin for me, but I don't like the control I have on them for the guitar. I like it when I'm playing with a pick. I have very little surface area sticking out, which is also why I don't drop them.
Yeah, and that's one thing Andy told me about too, is holding it that
Hold
way.
it close to the point.
Yeah.
Versus the whole. There we go.
Don't do that.
No, that's a
No,
quick
it's
way to
easy.
launch it.
That's an easier way to drop it, lose it.
Yeah,
Have it get caught in the
and
strings.
then you're doing this.
Yeah.
I used to play with those bass picks that are shaped like a Dorito. Because
Oh.
you could play off any one of the corners. And so if it spins around, you could just keep playing.
Yeah. I'm still learning.
We're all still learning.
That's what I hear. Whenever I say that, people always say the exact same thing. We're always learning.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful to keep the mind of a student. And be
That's the
willing.
best part about teaching.
Yeah.
A couple of semesters back, one of my students came in. He's like, "I'm not sure if I belong in your intermediate class. I'm self-taught." He felt really awkward because he's blind, and nobody warned me that he was coming with a visual impairment. but I had helped teach my wife. I had a whole system under my belt,
Yep.
and we just ran with it. But he wanted to learn Motown stuff. He wanted to learn gospel stuff that was all arranged for piano, where the chord names are this long, and like 22 jazz chords in these songs that he wanted to learn. I have carpal tunnel. I can't play an entire song worth of jazz chords anymore.
Right.
I could show him how to, I could demonstrate it, then I have to rub my wrist for a bit.
Right.
So we did it in pieces. So he was learning Jesus is Love by the Commodores, he was learning What's Love Got to Do with It, all these cool songs, and just having a great old time.
Good.
And it made his day that we were able to communicate on like where to put your fingers quickly without having to sit there and say, no, you gotta, I could just say, okay, open 1, open 2, 3 for a C chord. And it was like, okay, open first string, first, open, 2, 3. So he was able to roll with it. And from there we just went. And that semester the textbook got thrown out because everybody just kept having wild ideas for what they wanted to learn. We dabbled in the intro for James Taylor's Fire and Rain. We did a bunch of cool stuff that semester. And this semester that just finished, they wanted to learn soloing, which is not my strength. I stand up on a stage with just me and a guitar, so I never have the opportunity to solo. Can I? Arguably, sort of. I do it a bit when we host the songwriter rounds. I'll play off of people, but it's not my strength.
Right.
I will readily admit, if you want to learn this, you should probably find a different teacher for this particular skill set.
Right.
But they were so hung up on like the pentatonic scale boxes, the patterns that you flow through, that they couldn't get the melody in their head onto the fretboard. They were just in this pattern-based mentality. So I handed them a kazoo. And they're like, what are you doing? And like everybody in the class got a kazoo, and I'm like, okay, I'll play a chord progression, play something on the kazoo that you think would be cool over it, record that, now figure out how to play it on the guitar. Don't worry about your boxes and patterns, worry about where the notes are, find that melody, and when you've got it and you can replicate it, move somewhere else on the deck and do it again.
That is a great idea.
And they went through that for a couple of weeks, and then they went, you know what? I'm getting this, but let's learn this now. So they pivoted. So everything I built a lesson plan for a 12-week course around, we right-turned, and I ended up doing a deep dive into the finger style. What were we doing? Paul Simon, Scarborough Fair. So for people that don't finger pick, that's a pretty monster piece to tackle. And we got through it, and we just broke it down into little pieces, and by the end, I could do it. And they were ecstatic. It's like, okay. So I have no idea what's coming up this semester. My beginning my beginning class, I go through a whole system. Get them to a point where they can speak the language, play the notes, they know where the ABCs are and stuff. The intermediate class is a lot more free-flowing for me, where we can work up and down the neck, we can learn alternate shapes for chords, movable chords that are bar versus open, how to play songs they're interested in covering in a variety of ways, doing ensemble work, and getting to see that variety of people's interests come together where they collaborate on the idea of what they want to learn is fun. And I walk away learning more.
Right. In the last maybe year that I took lessons with Andy, we focused on either my learning the songs that I wrote the lyrics to, or the arrangement and the tone of the songs that I was currently writing. Is that how you recall it?
Chords in the key of. There was a lot of that.
Nice.
Because I started out writing songs and not even knowing that there was such a thing as keys.
Yep, coming from a drumming background, you wouldn't.
No, but I sure had the rhythm down.
Yeah, which is fun. John Natu, who used to be part of the duo Potter's Field, He comes from a percussion background. He played drums in rock bands way back in the day. And then he picked up the guitar, and he had that Creepicana Americana vibe lyrics that were so cool. And I wish he'd put out a second album before he stepped away from it.
Yeah.
If you're listening, John, shame on you for not giving us that
He
gift.
became an ambulance driver.
Yeah, he's a paramedic.
Yeah.
Or which one's the higher? Paramedic, EMT. Whichever it is, he's the higher of the two. Phenomenal songwriter, though.
He and Rochelle they made some really nice music.
Yeah, the harmonies were absolutely haunting. And I mean, Rochelle's still killing it. Jason Denny, when he steps in with her, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they're both actively out all the time.
Yeah.
But I still miss that vibe. There was something special about it.
There was. I think it was mostly Susie encouraging them and really building them up. Susie's energy was pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Susie Keats.
Yeah,
Her
infectious.
energy. Yeah, very infectious.
Yep. I haven't seen her in ages, but she's such a sweetheart.
She'll respond to something I put on Facebook now and
Yeah,
again.
she reached out to me 2-3 months ago, but I haven't actually seen her in person in ages, which is too bad because I love her. She's amazing.
Well, she and Bob are just awesome people.
Yeah. And, that's part of what the Michigan music scene is so awesome.
I met Susie and Bob because Susie was one of the prior hosts of Crazy Wisdoms.
She took a chance on me there.
Yeah, she was booking those acts.
Like
she booked
15 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had it closed for the pandemic for 4 years.
Yeah.
Michelle had it for a few years before
She
that.
did, yeah.
Susie Keats had it for like 5 years before that.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit.
Before the podcast started, we were just kind of hanging around and talking. So sorry, everybody out there, you missed this part of it. But let's go back. So I remember going to the Crazy Wisdom bookstore in like 1994 and seeing bands play. And it was all acoustic, it wasn't like a rock band or anything. And people would sip coffee or read books or whatever, and there would be huge crowds to show up to see the different bands.
Yeah.
And I remember it being full one day, and like you could barely get in because they were counting people and they didn't want to go past the number of people they could have. I saw like the Restroom Poets there.
Nice.
And Ben Lorenz and crew and Jason McGee and all those guys. They're called the Crossed Lines now.
They played at Dave Roof's festival the first year he had it.
Oh, yeah. That was one that I was at. I was on the songwriter round night with Mike Ward and Joe Serafina. Not Serafina, Joe... What the heck was her last name? I can't remember.
Oh, Joe from
She's in Detroit.
Dearborn.
Dearborn.
Sarah Pear.
So that was at Sarah Pear. And a few others. Candy Frederick was in that one.
Yep.
Great lineup.
Yeah, he put together some great shows.
Yeah.
I stayed out at the table selling candy and sodas.
And the way you knew that there was good shows coming up in this weekend or next weekend or whenever is you would walk around Ann Arbor and you would just look at telephone poles and then you would know who was playing. Because otherwise, where could you find out?
Yeah, that was pre-social media's heyday.
Yeah.
It was in its infancy of, what was it, pre-Facebook, what was it, the MySpace. God, that was awful.
I liked AOL Messenger and ICQ.
Oh, I remember ICQ, back in the day of dial-up. That was actually how I met my wife, not ICQ, but dial-up playing text-based video games over the internet. The only reason it worked as a relationship was because we were playing a game. We weren't looking at dating anybody. We were actually honest about our answers versus the whole hyping each other up with the whole dating profile thing that goes on so much now. We weren't catfishing.
Yeah.
But here we are 28 years later.
I know. Yeah, we just hit 35 in June.
Good on you.
Play us another song, man.
Play an old song this time.
Old song.
Like back in the way past.
God.
Or just when you remember.
That's the thing. I don't remember what songs I even wrote. I know.
What was the first song you ever wrote?
Oh. like real songs.
Well, you know,
not
it
just
could
making stuff
be
up in
like
the backseat of the car
an
on road
idea
trips.
when you were a kid or whatever. But
This is gonna sound geeky. I used to play D&D with friends a lot.
oh, cool! All right.
And 1 year early on, before I got dragged to that open mic, I played a bard character, and I wrote songs of our character's journey through this
Neat.
Dragonlance setting, which is
Dragonlance, yeah.
which is
World
also
Friend.
partially responsible for my marriage, because that's what we named our characters after in the game that we were playing.
Wrestling and Karaman.
Yep.
And,
So I played Raceland on that video game decades ago, and my wife
red
played
robe or black
Silvara.
robe?
Oh, depending on my mood. But my wife played Silvara,
Okay.
and we're like, Dragonlance fan, and that was it. We just started talking. But we played this campaign, and I wrote songs about it. I can't remember any of them now, but there was like this Kender Blues thing, which was not a blues song. And just, we had fun. But I
Yeah.
got dragged out to play because I played a bard on
Bards
a
were
D&D
fun.
campaign.
I played D&D. The last time I played a bard, his name was Blake the Blade, and his chosen instrument was a cowbell.
Oh, nice. More
So
cowbell.
for every session that we had, I had a song in mind that started with a cowbell. Like one of them was like that Def Leppard Rock of Ages.
Sweet.
And so, you know, and then there was Don't Fear the Reaper. So, like, he would just sing the song and play the cowbell. That was his, you know, his
Too
skill.
funny. As a stealth check, it's terrible, but it's awesome. The only character I really remember much of was a druid, but my rolls for all the stats were so low that he couldn't cast any spells. Had like no defensive or offensive capability. The only thing he had going for him was wild shape, and it was bad. And I was basically playing him like a drugged up hippie because it was the only thing that made sense for why he was so terrible. And one of them used summon mount to get a horse to run through this corridor full of traps as they detect trap answer. And this horse bolted, and me being a druid with animal friends, chased after it to try and save it when it went off a cliff. Only for me to fall 100 levels down into the dungeon to the hardest parts. Made a whole bunch of saves that were near impossible. Escaped all kinds of trouble. Broke the surface of the water, wild shaped into a bird, and got roasted like something with a laser beam. Just cooked canary, it was done. And that was the end of that character. But, you know, like I said, geeky. But we had fun.
You know, I love Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't get a chance to play too much. I probably played a handful of times, but I played Risk a lot.
Yeah, D&D I was introduced to in 6th grade. Took a long pause, and then when I moved here, some friends of Dawn's that she introduced me to had a regular gaming thing going, and they were all really creative
So
people.
we were probably introduced to it at the same time. I was a junior in high school.
That about lines up, yeah.
Yeah. You were going to play that song.
I was going to play the game song, but I was going to play something that's a little older. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You haul on the driveway, good neighbors moving on. I wonder who'll be moving in to make that house a home. Plant roots and raise a family who'll in time raise their own. Or is it just a waypoint into the unknown? Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, 'cause time will tell. We'll wait and see, 'cause time will tell. settling. Oh, I guess it'll be our turn. Extend a hand of friendship and hope it'll be returned. Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, 'cause time will tell. We'll wait and see, 'cause time will tell. Stay the same. More things always change, it seems. Ever growing older, can't roll back the clock to younger days. And only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, 'cause time will tell. We'll wait and see, 'cause time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, 'cause time will tell. We'll wait and see, 'cause time will tell.
I was listening to that pretty closely and watching your fingers.
Mhm.
Your hammer style is just amazing.
Thanks.
I
Yeah.
noticed that too.
Yeah. Now, do you do pull-offs too?
Mhm.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
I couldn't see,
Yeah.
but I could hear the hammers.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I spend a fair bit of time with the intermediate students on.
Yeah. I need to spend more time on it.
Yeah, it's a nice skill set. It opens up a lot of options for you when you're not necessarily, like if you don't want to spend versus.
Yeah. Well, and it just makes such a different. It gives it a different flavor, a different feel.
Yeah, they're more like an accent note than a main hit.
Yeah.
And it flows more smoothly too.
Those of you who can do that, I look forward to 5 years from now when I can.
It's just time and practice.
That's
just
it.
like everything else on them.
How much do you have to play something to get it?
That's a great question. More than once.
thought
More
you-
than 3 times.
I thought you
There's
usually
a
say
theory
1,000,
on it,
1,000
and
hours.
Yeah.
1,000 times is a great place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that,
repetition, repetition, repetition.
Yeah, there's
Can you
that.
say that again?
The 3 R's of music, everyone. Repetition, repetition, repetition.
And practice.
Yeah, there's that quote. I'm not sure if it's real or not, but I've heard it a lot. Where this famous cellist, he was mentioning that he still practices every day.
Yeah.
And like, you're still practicing? Why? I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, I'm finally making progress.
You know.
Yeah.
But like every time I pick it up, I learn something new. Like I stumbled on movable open chords a while ago, and with my having carpal tunnel, I can't easily do the bar chords as much.
Right.
So it opened up that path for me, and some of my songwriting has gone down that rabbit hole now.
Sure.
Um,
Well, it's evolving.
yeah,
Um,
every new
For
tool you
ser-
throw in the toolbox.
for really good reasons, because physically, I'm having some issues in here. Getting X-rays first week of September to find out if it's arthritis or muscular, and I'm a little worried about what I'm going to find.
Yep, I've got twice now, both around Candy Frederick. Once was at Appalumpkin, once was at Triple Goddess Tasting Room, that kombucha bar. I was playing bar chords, and my finger locked up, the whole forearm spasmed and locked, and I couldn't move my finger properly. So I was
man.
doing this to make it press instead for like
Right.
the next minute and a half of a song, trying to finish it. It's only happened twice, and it was ages apart. It wasn't like it was some routine thing. So I don't know the trigger. I don't know what caused it. I don't know what happened. But I'm like, with Candy, I had said, can you just take the next 3 or 4 songs? I got to get this kink worked
Yeah.
out. And I just put a break in after that song at the other place. But she was in the crowd, and she's like, again?
Yeah, maybe avoid bar chords.
Yeah, so like these days, instead of the full like B minor,
There you go. Just hire a bass player and he can play the...
yeah, or like instead of an E major played regularly, I switch the fingers.
There you go. All right.
So that movable partial where you're just not hitting the extra strings, and it opens the door without that whole
Right.
mess. Unfortunately, I have to still teach bar chords, but
Right.
I don't do it for like a 2-hour gig anymore.
Yeah, there's a song that I wrote the lyrics for and someone else wrote the music for, and it's all bar chords, just completely bar chords.
That's what's fun, though.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Which one?
You'll hear it.
Sunday Morning Light.
And that's the whole song.
Yeah.
And it goes. Something like that.
Yeah. It's funny if you look at the chord shapes and move them around.
Yeah.
One of the songs that guitar student wanted to learn, I can't remember what the song was. It was some Christian gospel something.
Ah.
So it was like 22 chords, but there were only 4 shapes.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just, okay, this shape, here, 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 here. This shape, here, 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 here. And you got to remember which ones are which. And once I broke that down for him, he was off to the races. It was so much easier than
Well,
having to go, okay, it's this C sharp, diminish this, augmented ninth, what?
You know, when bar chords, that's interesting because there's just one shape.
Yeah.
But you know,
Just that
if you're
whole cage
playing
system.
minor, you play it down here. Playing major, you play it up here.
Yeah.
And that's simple,
Yeah, like
but,
that.
but difficult for this
Yeah,
old
like
man.
that thing I was doing with the movable chord. You've got the
Yeah.
E major shape,
Yeah.
but if you slide it here, it's now a minor shape because that's acting like your nut.
Okay.
Minor, major, major, and you're just basically switching between your first and second finger on that third string. But the other ones just stay there.
I'm blown away.
I also played a lot of music with a blind person growing up because my neighbor was blind. His name was Dale.
I find that the ability for them to pluck notes and chords out of the air is mind blowing.
was
If they practice and if they work at it the same as everybody else. But the one student, I could sit there and go, okay, that's the 5th fret, and he would just play it back to me without me even telling him what I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And major props to that kind of skill.
Yeah, no
I was
doubt.
jealous. He's like, man, I'm not sure if I belong in this. I'm like, dude, you are the star student. The rest of us are playing catch up, including the teacher. You're
Right.
fine. If we had an advanced class, you'd be in it. Don't worry.
Absolutely. So, this is your workhorse.
Yeah.
But do you have other guitars?
Not as many as I used to.
Yeah.
I've got a Luna, one of the Vista series, so it's got that inlaid mural. That one currently has some medicinal needs. It has that bridge bulge where it's starting to come up.
Yeah.
So that one I only take out of the case to change the hydration on. I'm trying to keep it at 50% to let that go back to normal. And it needs to go in because I was teaching and the strap let go and it dropped on very thin carpet over concrete.
Oh.
So I think I knocked a brace loose. And it also on the back chipped it a bit in here, and it landed here and pushed in the battery and controls and
no.
stuff. I got that part fixed. I was able to pull that out, but it very quickly did that, so the action up here is a good 1/4 inch instead of like a 1/16 and 1/8.
Well, now it's a slide guitar.
Yeah. So it's so pretty and it sounds so nice and it played like butter when it was great. So I need to get it fixed. It's worth doing. I just don't have the resources right now.
Right.
My wife has a GS Mini Koa. Had a GS Mini Mahogany that she gave to my son. Had a GS Mini Rosewood that she gave to my youngest. And that one is still in our house. and my youngest also had a Dean acoustic guitar that we gave them when they were 9, because it was a thinner body, really deep cutaways, or not cutaways, the waist.
Yeah.
It also had a cutaway, but it sat low enough on her leg, and it was thin enough that she wasn't doing that heavy-duty lift.
Right.
So it played great, but she wouldn't touch it for years because I don't want to damage my pretty guitar. So I borrowed it and took it to a gig as a backup for alternate tuning, and a gust of wind.
Oh.
So it got a very tiny scratch on the glossy surface, and then she's like, "Oh, broken now? Okay, now I can play it," and just started playing.
That was a blessing.
So I should have kicked it over years ago.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, parenting 101, break your kids' toys. But we got those. I've got a very cheap electric guitar. I've got a very in need of repair cigar box guitar. That one at the Funky Rivertown Festival, I put it on the stand and it didn't grab. And that went over and knocked something loose inside, but I don't have a screwdriver type to open it to get it fixed.
My cigar box has a latch.
Oh, I wish. This one's a license plate from Ontario
Oh, okay.
that somebody handmade. It was a charity thing in the vendor hall outside of a gig I played when I went back to my hometown for a festival. And I basically used my pay to buy this instrument
Sure.
because that was my hometown. So I'm like, oh, Ontario plate, cool. What else have I got? My mandolin, my ukulele, my wife's ukulele, acoustic bass, electric bass that are both my son's that he left here when he moved to Seattle. 2 pianos, 1 digital, 1 upright, spinet technically. Lots of harmonicas that I'm bad at.
And a kazoo.
And a kazoo, yeah. Cajones, I've got 2 cajones in the house. One's mine, one's my wife's. We've got my kiddo's bell kit, glockenspiel from when they were in high school in the marching band. They were in the drum pit. What else was in the house? We got a bunch of stuff.
Probably hard to name them all.
Yeah, but not as many as I used to have. I've been gradually paring it down to what I actively use. And thankfully, my kids and my wife have instruments, so I still get to play with other stuff.
Yeah. I've been slowly selling some things. I just sold a Breedlove.
Those are nice, too.
Yeah, it was a nice guitar. But I sold that, and I used the money to buy like a metal recording king, which I posted on Facebook. I don't know if you
I saw that, the Resonator. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I was eyeing, and can't afford it, but I was eyeing the Recording King's D28 knockoff. I can't afford the actual guitar from Martin that in one of the books I wrote, the main character finds in his grandfather's farmhouse attic loft in a steamer trunk a 1931 Martin D28 that is in terrible shape. It has been there for decades untouched in an unheated home. But he finds it and he sends it away to a luthier that specializes in pre-war guitars. And yeah.
That sounds like that probably had a happy middle.
Yeah. For him, he has a eventual happy arc, but he goes through a lot of hell to get there. That poor guy. I actually wrote one of the novelettes as a redeeming thing because I felt so bad for what I was doing to this poor guy. He goes through 3 books of nightmare before he sees his happy ending.
Tell us what the biggest gig you've ever played is.
The biggest gig I ever played, I opened for the Carrie Lynch Band in Milford at the LaFontaine Amphitheater, that little park thing they've got with the river behind it. So it's this bowl type thing, and there were 4,000 people there, something like that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so they weren't there for me, but they all listened and they applauded, and some of them sang along, so I was happy with that. But Carrie Lynch was such a sweetheart. So during her intermission after I had finished, she was taking a break, and this little kid, maybe like this big, had kind of come around the back, and the parents were nearby watching. But it was the most adorable thing. She sat there with a guitar with this little kid and this little sing-along. Well, thousands of people were on the other side of the stage waiting for her to come back. She just made a special moment for this kid. It was adorable.
That's nice.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. I haven't seen her in years now, but we're still Facebook friends, and I see that she's still out there killing it.
Between you and I and Andy, we know so many musicians.
Mhm.
So many. It's incredible. But I think it's getting to be about that time, isn't it?
It's about that time.
We're going to play one more song. You want to do one together?
What you got in mind?
Well, 12-bar blues is always an easy one.
I'm not a blues guy.
Okay.
But
You could play something else.
You played blues with me.
I've played percussive guitar blues for you because I'm not a blues guy. You keep doing that to me.
I don't know if I'm necessarily a blues guy either.
In fairness, I've thrown Michaela Prue under the bus twice now at songwriter rounds, making her play a group round of John Denver.
Country Road.
Yeah, Country Roads. She's young. And the first time, she'd never heard the song before,
Right.
or at least not consciously. She's probably heard it. And the second time, she mentioned, oh yeah, I learned that one after the last time. And I took her at her word and said, okay, let's try that one then. And she's like, that was 2 years ago, and I haven't played it since. In E, huh?
E's good. You know, we can always pick a different song. Or we could pick a chord progression.
I don't care.
We'll do it. I'll noodle on something.
Or you can show us a chord progression from one of your songs.
This is pretty easy. It's in. I gotta put a cable on, which means I gotta think about where it actually is. A minor, A sharp, B, C minor. Maybe? Probably tell a story about this now, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So I was noodling with just that, kind of getting used to open movable chords, and I was in the classroom between classes. I had about a half-hour break, and the administrator came through to check on me, and I was just going back and forth with a couple of shapes, and she's like, okay, have fun. And I don't know what prompted it, but I got the idea for a song about this guy talking to a girl that is the other woman, that is always hoping to be the pick-me, but never quite is. So the guy she likes is always off with his main woman, and he's trying to convince her that that's not what she deserves. She deserves better.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to hang with you. No way. No way. Thank you. That was
It's a
beautiful.
simple progression.
Yeah, but still, simple for you is different than simple for me. We've been Studio C, the listening room. I've been Michael Snyder Barker most of the time,
And I've been Andy Schiller.
and our good friend Stuart Benbow.
Yeah, thank you for
Yay.
having me.
Thanks for joining us.
What a good time.
Yeah, it's always fun talking to you.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time, everybody.